welcome back. We back with another video. And apparently Moses listened to me because now I am in the middle of these two.
It was just the way we sat, bro.
Oh yeah, it wasn't intentional.
It's on purpose.
Oh okay. So
maybe next time I'll be in the middle.
yeah, maybe we'll do that.
Yeah,
We'll
switch it up, guys.
We'll
switch it up.
Next
for
video
everybody.
we'll swap it.
And we'll put you in the middle.
So many comments we got about it.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah. That's right.
So the first one is a decent topic that we had that kind of leaks into a lot of stuff. So I was raised as a martial artist originally, but there's a lot of things that came from that leaks into my life that kind of helped me through my journey. And a lot of these things are like I've heard from other philosophers, I've heard from science, I've heard from church, I've heard from other things. I've heard even from motivational videos to kind of amp you up to get you started on your business or your future endeavors, your family. It's all depending on what your goal is. And this one would be called The Way of the Warrior. And I kind of titled it myself on that one, but it again leaked into some things he was saying and some things Mo was saying. And some of those things are definitely discipline and determination. Discipline on the fact that I'm not just a person who just reacts to somebody acting towards me. That's not just in a fight, right? That's in actual life. Like I'm not gonna just react to anybody else's challenge. I'm not gonna react to everybody else's attitude. I kind of counteract it by acting the opposite that they're looking for. Whether it's the argument, whether it's even in the midst of the conversation. There's even sometimes psychology-wise, or even if I don't completely agree with the person I'm talking to, whether it's one of my coworkers, employee, or friends, that I'll even agree harder on what they're saying to me sometimes. I'll even bring up bigger topics than he did, so he sees my part of the dedication to his point, because it's not him or her have a bad point. But then I'll make sure, hey, look, now I'm on your side. Now come on my side a little bit. So if I'm willing to give you a little, you got to give me a little too back. So this way, it's kind of part of leadership too, where I'm disciplined enough to be able to stop the emotional aspect of me and control it, and not let my words just speak. Because I definitely think before I speak, or think before I do stuff, and it happens in a millisecond. But definitely that discipline will help that conversation not escalate to a big argument or a big debate or a big fight, right? That's just one thing that I learned. But I learned that in fighting. I learned that in that warrior mind state. But I also traveled that into my life. A lot of times before we jump to him, I wanted to say, like, my father taught me how to fight. My father taught me the basics, and you can kind of also put this into life. My father taught me the basics, which is using my feet, my hands, and my legs to be deadly and dangerous, right? But what he didn't teach me was strategy. And any great warrior that's ever been remembered, you can go back from any type of martial arts or any type of thing, but this is just people in general. The strategy is the smartest way to go, because that you being on the battlefield and the general's the one telling you where to point your guns, right? The general is the one telling you who to fight, where to go. He's the strategist, and the people above him are strategizing how the war is going to go, who's going to flank what, right? And a lot of this has to do with a lot of flanking around an argument, flanking around a dangerous situation, and instead of coming straight at it, you're finding that extra flank, and including in a situation like that, I think is most likely the best way. What about you?
Well, yeah. On this topic, I got the idea. I've been thinking about it a lot lately and during this week. And this morning I was watching a sermon, and the guy just brought some points up that I thought was interesting, where he was talking about the most successful people in life are the people living in their purpose. And he was saying that a lot of us are unhappy because we're not living in our purpose. Like, we might be at a job, but we're not doing the thing that we love to do or we're passionate about. And he was talking about to be successful in life. I know everyone has different definition of success, but he was saying to be really successful in life is to do your God-given talent, use your God-given abilities. And he gave some examples about how to know what your purpose in life is and how to know what your gifts are.
Right.
And he was saying about, he was
Not
talking
ignore
about,
them. You don't want to ignore them.
yeah, you don't want to ignore him. He
Yeah.
was talking about like the homeboy you would call like back in the day, like if you didn't have money to go to the barber shop, the one that would line you up, you know what I'm saying? The one that gave everybody haircuts.
Yeah.
The girl that would braid other girls' hairs and
She's
do
a giver.
stuff like that.
The giver, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
but
talent.
not just that. The one like if there's a dinner or a party, the one everybody wants to cook.
Yeah.
So basically the guy that was lining everybody up probably should be a barber, right?
Right.
The girl that was braiding everybody hair and whatever, doing whatever design,
Maybe
probably
hairstylist.
should, a hairstylist, open up a beauty
Cosmetology.
salon, cosmetology,
Right,
yeah,
right, right.
along those terms. The
sh-
person
and
who's
the
always
chef.
cooking should probably be a chef,
Yeah.
open up their own restaurant.
Yeah, I agree.
So that had me thinking, and he was talking about God-given abilities. Like God gave you that gift, He gave you that talent,
Sure.
and you could use that. He was talking about, and there's a verse in the Bible that says that our talents could bring us before great men.
It's true.
Meaning, like, I know people
Just
right
an
now.
idea can bring you
Just
in
an
front of the right
idea.
people. Yep.
Exactly. Like, you a good barber, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of rappers, a lot of entertainers that bring their barber on the road with them. You know what I'm saying?
You can cut the right person's hair and boom.
Yeah, man. There's people getting paid like $1,000 for a haircut. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can do what you do so great where it brings you in front of great people.
Here's another thing too. I was gonna say, piggyback on your point though. Like I was initially, I'm a better fighter than I am a plumber, right? And I'm a great plumber. I'm
Yeah.
a phenomenal fighter.
Uh-huh.
So the thing was like, once I found greatness in one thing, like let's say she did become the chef,
Yeah.
or she became the executive chef to the chef, right? Or something in that kitchen where she belongs,
Yeah.
right? Or maybe she became the owner of that restaurant. That restaurant is also a business owner, right? You're not just the restaurant, not just the cooking aspect of it.
Yeah.
Maybe she become a better business owner, like
Uh-huh.
me becoming a good martial artist and understanding not only how to fight and how to do it the right way, but how to strategize a team, right? How to strategize 10 to 20 people and do it the right way. I think that it could be. Once you find greatness in one thing, you can find greatness in everything.
Yeah.
So it's maybe that unique talent that you have can take you, and you
Yeah.
can see how everything can work to build up whatever greatness that could be, and then you could translate that to something else.
Definitely.
Let's let Mo go. I mean,
Yeah.
Mo.
What you think, Mo?
Nah, I'm trying to. I need to write notes so I can remember everybody's saying, so I can piggyback. But the way of the warrior too. I don't know. We jumping around with like the way of the warrior thing, but like
It all goes.
yeah.
coincides.
So my thing is like, I always picture myself as a warrior, like a warrior for my family, a warrior for people, warrior for I just picture myself as a warrior.
The Spartan.
I get up every day. I do what I have to do. I take care of my family. And that's just the way I see myself every day.
Yeah.
Just for me personally. So the one, especially with the purpose thing that we're talking about, like I think, purpose, we're guiding it towards a career or what you're supposed to do with your life. But I think, it's a big section of your life. Like the purpose is like, you could be Mother Teresa, that you're supposed to go out and help millions of people in Calcutta or whatever, and that could be your purpose in life that you're supposed to fulfill. And like Louis was saying, which I was going to say the same similar point is, I was kind of pushed into plumbing, and I just became good at it because I wasn't going to fail at it, so I just wanted to be as good as possible. But I wouldn't say that was my talent. I would say, now that I'm in plumbing and I'm around people more, I can see I'm more of a people person as well. Like I get along with people. So I don't know if that would be like in career-wise, that'd be a sales thing, or me trying to motivate kids maybe, or talk to adults or whatever that is. That could all be encompassed in the same thing. And I think you need to figure that out too, about like, what do you really like to do? Because a lot of people, if you ask them that question off the top of their head, they can't really answer it. Like, what would you do if you could do it for free and not get paid? Right? That's a tricky question. Like, I couldn't even give you the complete answer for that right now. It would involve people. It would involve helping. It would involve
For sure.
growing something, building something with people, like we were talking about earlier about businesses. So it would probably involve all that. But to tell you exactly what I would do on a daily basis, it'd probably be all sorts of things. I probably want to do all different things, to be honest with you. Like, I don't have a specific thing.
I do. It would be
I do
shooting
too.
a podcast and
But
helping
every-
people.
But
on
even
the
every
podcast.
day, I was telling
this is free.
Barquito.
We do this for
But I was
free.
telling Barquito, this is one of the things I do. I love to do this.
We're helping people.
But there's more things that I would do. To do this every day,
I don't know.
you know, I probably would be burned out.
Yeah, I
to
gotta
be honest
get-
with
yeah,
you.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So unless I could, you know, envelop, like trying to make it
Yeah,
into more.
something we could do.
Because I've done stuff for long periods of time, like even plumbing. Like I do it now, and it's not something that I love to do, but right now it does what it needs to do for me, and I enjoy doing it when I'm doing it. But not to say that I would wake up and do it for free.
Yeah, I got you.
I wouldn't just wake up and be like, let me just
Yeah.
go find somebody that's pipes to fix, right? Type of thing.
We too old.
Not for me,
that,
personally. So, but I know more purpose too is like for me personally is like, you know, raising my son, right? Finding the best route to bring him and guide him, and you know, being a good husband, right? That's part of my purpose, right? That I believe in. These are things like I do on a daily basis. Being a good son, right? Being a good son-in-law, right? Being a good uncle, trying to do these things are all part of what I think is my purpose too. And because of, you know, what I've been through and what I know, I think that, you know, I can relate to a lot of people. And I think that's what I get a lot is, you know, I can relate to people. And I don't know if that's a talent or if that's
a
just
gift.
God's path in life that he wanted me to follow. And I followed it and I did whatever he had planned, and now I'm just going along with
What
that
comes
too.
naturally for you?
Yeah, so those things I could do it like easily. Just like, you know what I mean, like, so the purpose part is that, like, but being a warrior, the discipline we talked about too is a big part of any type of plan you're gonna follow or your purpose that you're gonna follow, is being disciplined to do it, and not let other stuff get involved.
Yeah.
Other stuff come up between that.
Don't let it like deter you from your goal or push you
Yeah,
off course.
especially if we're talking about just, you know, purpose and going along with that. Like I said, but purpose is a I think it's a, you know, it's something that you should think about, right, and really think deep, right? Maybe by yourself, really think like, if what is your purpose? Maybe ask God to try to, you know, show you what it is.
What I think about too sometimes is like when it comes to like anything I do, if I'm doing it also for my family, also for my name, like we were talking about the business before we got on camera too, like for people to remember my name. I'm doing it for something bigger than just that. Even in a fight, when I was fighting for more than just me, when I was fighting like I have nothing to lose and everything to gain from the situation. The underdog mentality, not only did it get me to win that fight or those fights against bigger people all the time, but it also got me to where the point I am in my career. Where I was doing this for $400 a week, plumbing wise, and now people pay me $3,000 to $5,000 every single time I touch anything. Because I built that strategy, I built that work ethic, but I also built myself as a business and a strategy to get me to that point, but I'm worth that amount of money. Not just that, but it also, having that I still have it. I feel like if I lose that underdog mentality, I'm gonna lose my sight on the goal that I'm still there, because I'm not where I want to be yet. You know, like, I can't just be happy because the money's there.
Yeah,
I didn't do this for the money to begin with.
I don't
did
look at
this for.
I agree. I just don't. I don't think I look at it as like an underdog. Like, I don't feel like I'm always jumping into a situation as the underdog of the situation. I don't. You know, there's situations where I go into, you know, talking to business people and stuff where I don't know as much as them probably in a certain situation. But I don't never feel myself as like an underdog. They just, you know what I mean? I don't know. I get, but that's what gets you to
Yeah, that's what
push.
motivates me.
Yeah, that's what gets you to motivate. Then that's a different thing too.
No. If you walk into a surgeon, like the top surgeon, and one of the people I work with is one of the top surgeons in Florida, right?
Yeah.
And not only does he do adults and elderly, but does kids. This dude is the shit. And I walk in, I won't say any names, but I walk into his place. I'm the smart one, because I'm the plumber he called, because he doesn't know how to figure it out.
Because he's just an expert in surgery.
Right? But I still, at my company, and my idea is I'm still the underdog. I still got to get better. Still got something else to learn. Still got to stay a student. And that's another thing with the way of the warrior, is staying a student. The second that you think you figured it all out, or you think you got life figured out, or you think you got your marriage figured out, or you think you figured out business, or whatever strategy it is, bro, you fucked up. You got to remember, you need to stay a student.
Yeah.
A warrior only becomes what he is in his destiny.
And a real warrior is humble.
100%. 100%.
right? So a real warrior, a guy that could know that he could whip somebody,
100%.
is not gonna talk.
You wanna know how many fights I've been into in the
They're not gonna
past
tell you
10
about
years?
They're just gonna do it.
0. Maybe sparring, like whatever, but competition. But real fights,
Yeah.
0. They can feel it on me already. They're like, oh, you know what? And it just kind of like dissipates. And I also know how to de-escalate a situation where it's just like, everybody relax. Somebody's gonna get hurt. You know what I mean? And just kind of all fades away, and we move on, buy each other a drink, and talk shit later. Right? It's just, I literally learned all of this stuff, and I barely get into any fights. But that's the reason why I learned it. And not only that, too, to protect my family. But overall, like, it just...
I got a gun for that.
Yeah, you got a gun for that. You know, got a samurai sword for that. I got a ninja star for that.
Yeah.
You'd be like, did he hit me
But
with a
yeah,
ninja
you
star
know,
in the hand?
you
What
know,
is this,
being a warrior, I feel like you should wake up every day, like, you know, especially if you're, you know,
Put your armor on. Ting, ting, ting. Put your
Man,
samurai armor hat
go
on.
out there and be a
Boom, boom,
warrior.
boom. Right?
Humble-
Sharpen your blades before you go out.
humble,
Wake up a little early to
disciplined.
sharpen them blades up.
Humble, disciplined, working hard.
You're going to war, bro. Let's
go to
go.
war every day.
And then you got to strategize your war, and you got to make it yours. And whether I'll tell you another thing too. Before we end this was, once I've battled myself, my own inner demons, my own mental anxiety, or my own issues, or my fear, which was the biggest one, fear of anything. I was able to turn my fear into faith, turn my fear and chaos into.
Well, you can't hold both.
Yeah, right, exactly. But I could control it.
You can't hold fear and faith.
Once you start living your life more or less fearless,
Yeah.
The-
Can't hold.
it's already the deck's already stacked, the cards are already dealt. So what can you do today to move you forward towards your goal? What can you do today to make it happen realistically, and not lie to yourself? And any warrior who's delusional enough to recognize the fact that he thinks he's the GOAT, or he thinks he's the greatest, or he already got it all figured out, is the one that gets. Julius Caesar thought he was the shit until he got taken out, right? But people closest to him. So you gotta think strategy wise, and also stay humble on that point. Like Mo said, you gotta stay humble, and you gotta stay a student. You gotta
Always
stay
learning.
learning, stay growing, and stay. It's good to stay hungry, but it's good to
You gotta be grateful too.
be grateful, yeah,
That's
for your
just life.
position.
Because being hungry is one thing, but being grateful for what you have, you can kind of miss out on what the good parts of your life. And that could drive some people crazy, I think. You know what I
100%.
mean? Being like a da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and now you're not grateful. You're never happy with where you are in life. You should be happy where you are,
And then
but
where
you're
you're going.
always pushing to go forward.
Mhm.
Because you got to have some type of gratitude for where you're at, how you got to where you got. Weight loss, whatever it is,
Whatever
you got
the
to
goal
be
is.
happy about those situations. As long as you're putting in the effort and the work, I think you should, be grateful for that. Grateful for the opportunity to be able to even do it. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
I'm grateful
I agree.
just to be. I'm grateful to wake up every day. I wake up every day, watch out, look at the sun.
Just
Another-
appreciate
another
the fact that I
beautiful
woke up the
even though
next
I'm
day.
going
Yeah.
to work that I don't want to go.
Yeah, and I gotta go do some shit I don't want to fucking go do.
So
But I put my fucking armor on and I'm ready to go,
I'm a
bro.
big boy. Pain.
Let's get it. Let's get it and make the day. Well, I'm gonna kill the day. The day's gonna be like, damn, we couldn't get him this time. We were trying to get him, we almost had him, and then damn, he got it again. And every day I do that shit, and it's hard as fuck. Cause when I get home, I'm like, I feel like shell shocked and shit. I'm like, oh, my back, ooh. But you know what? I survived that
And
day.
then you get up and go for a run.
Figure it out. And then guess what? And then I go do some extra shit, and then I go be a great dad, be a great husband, and then I do the same shit over again the next day. Because I'm already battle hardened. I'm already ready to go. This shit don't phase me no more, bro. Shit don't bother me no more. It's not like as if I'm sitting there and it's all the stress is getting to me and all this stuff is bothering me. It doesn't bother me anymore. I don't give a fuck. There's an art to not giving a fuck about it. I'm gonna make this shit happen. I'm gonna kill this shit. One way or the other, I'm gonna make it happen. Somebody tells me, my wife's like, oh my God, like, oh, this happened. This situation sucks. We need money. I'm gonna go get her money. I'm gonna go get it. I'll be right back. Give me like an hour. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go make it happen. And it's the truth. I wish I was lying. It's the truth. I'm gonna go make it happen. If my family needs anything, if there's my friend just kind of coming to me and just talking to me, or needs somebody there for him, I'm there. But maybe I don't have the exact words that I need to say to help him. But I'll do whatever I can to at least get him on my side. Be like, listen, we are having a problem. Oh, we have an issue. Meanwhile, he called me. He's like, what's this we shit? Who's this we? No, yeah, we're gonna figure this out. Because now he doesn't think he's alone. That's a strategy. How can I get him to to be more on board with me, so we can go do it together. Oh shit, we'll all meet up with you later. We'll figure it out. So these are just some tactics, some tricks, some little tips that we got for you, just to kind of like. Anything else?
I agree with you. Not really.
Gotcha. All right, well that's
Way
it,
of the
bro.
warrior.
You can do this, bro. Just live your life, son. Live your life.